I came here at 5 o'clock. Took me an hour to get ready. Go into the bathroom, put some makeup on. Seeing Dwayne Harris coming along, and then Gloria Messer, and then Danny, and then my band here tonight. It takes time to get ready. But once you go live, once you're on, you're on. So tonight we're on. No politics tonight. Last week I had a whole conversation with the president from Costa Rica and Mildred Espinosa. I learned a lot. It was quite an exercise for me. Politics is, I love it, but I'm not a politician and I'm not a journalist either. So it was very challenging for me. I had a lot of fun. But tonight, we are having fun. We have actors in the house, 2 terrific actresses. Okay, I'm just not bragging. I'm just saying that they are so wonderful. Kelly Pekar.
Pekar, yes.
Pekar. I said Pekar. Sounds like a pecan, like a pecan. Okay, Kelly.
Everyone.
People get confused when they tell your name. What's your name?
Absolutely.
And you get upset?
Never.
Never?
No.
Not even once? Yeah, of course, I can see
Maybe,
it.
no.
It's upsetting when people say Sissy Gamache, Sissy Gamache, and they say Sissy Gamache, and I say, oh, I want to punch him in the face. I can't help it. And Kiara.
Kiara.
Hi, guys.
You just did that on purpose to make a
Kiara.
statement. I understand.
In the band, of course, Dwayne, I'm not forgetting. How can I forget my band here, Martini Garden? I already mentioned my boys. We're going to get into the music right after, but we're going to do the conversation first, if you guys let me. Okay? Cool, nice and clear. We met when I went to see the 3. I can hear you, Anita, from here. Watch it. I'm giving you a direction. Now I'm directing my show. Beautiful. I met you when you girls were in the 3 Penny Opera, directed by our man, Lenny.
Lenny Leibowitz, yeah.
Leibowitz.
Marvel Repertory Theater.
Marvel Repertory Theater. Incredible production, incredible work.
Incredible company.
Can we? Yes, absolutely. Chris
Wonderful.
Kipiniak, I brought him before. We talk about Lenny and we talk about the company. So I want to talk about the company just a little bit and then go to your company.
Yeah.
The Main Stage Shakespeare.
Yes.
That's quite amazing. So let's talk about that, how you girls met, how you girls came together, and the whole 9 yards.
Sure. Well, I actually came to Marvel Rep as a director. I went and applied to be Lenny's assistant director on the 3 Penny Opera. And in our very first meeting, we hit it off pretty much right away. And it was pretty clear that I was going to be working for him. And then he said, well, you're an actor too, right? And I was like, yes. Any chance you play the saxophone? And I said, well, actually, yes. I played the saxophone all through high school. And he said,
that's
well,
so cool. That's so cool.
Yeah, we have this concept and whatever. And so I ended up being in the ensemble and the assistant director on that, and the dramaturg on his other show at the same time. And so I sort of just jumped in last spring to working with him. And so then I was involved in the 3 Penny Opera. And that's when I met Kelly, who I think came to it in a more traditional way.
Yeah, I just went and auditioned and got in the show and met Kiara. And later on, as the run progressed, we started to get to be really good friends. And I heard that she had this company, but at the time, it never really occurred to me that I could be a part of it, and I'm really lucky now that I am.
Yeah, I mean, you girls are taking charge. It's nice to see women doing things besides acting, because actors, there's so many actors in New York and so many actors everywhere.
Yeah.
But here it's nice to see women wearing different hats. All of us, we have to wear different hats.
Totally.
Absolutely.
It's really nice to sort of take control of your own destiny, because
Right.
it's so
I love that.
easy in theater
Yes.
to say, oh, well, I'll wait until somebody gives me X, Y, or Z. But there's a million people that are waiting for somebody for a million other people to give them X, Y, or Z. So if
Right.
you sort of just take it instead, then people are like, oh, okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, and directing is not an easy thing for anybody, okay? It takes time to get to know actors. I don't care where
Sure.
you come from, it's a lot of work. And I guess that you have to have a special skill to be able to read the actors and give them exactly what they need. Now, like I was talking with Lenny when he was here, and even with John Strasberg, I said, John, how do you fix a problem? When you're on stage, do you get upset? Do you get frustrated? What do you do when things don't go the way you want them to go? So I'm kind of interested in what you have to say about that, because you deal with a lot of actors.
Yeah.
So how do you work? What's your approach?
Well, I sort of see directing partially through the eyes of an actor. I mean, I learned most of what I know on the road. I studied directing a little bit in college.
Yes,
but
I was
not
reading
really.
about that too. Very impressive.
Yeah.
The whole background. I cut you off. I'm sorry.
No, yeah. I mean, I got a theater degree from Dartmouth, which isn't really a theater school, but has a really great intimate department where I got a lot of opportunity to direct students. And growing up, I started a theater company at my synagogue, my local synagogue, when I was like 14 or 15, and directed a couple of shows there, and then directed in college, and then coming out. And so it was sort of this leaving theater in my wake kind of life that I've led. But when I work with actors, I approach a play from the text, and I approach it, whether it's Shakespeare, whether it's musicals, I see what from it speaks to me, what about the characters, and I really, I mean, casting is sort of 80% of your job, because if you get the right actors in the right parts, then most of it's going to come together, and then it's about figuring out what story you're telling, getting everyone on the same page there, and then, you know, making pretty pictures while you do it, and
so cool.
that's pretty much
I was
the whole thing.
checking you girls on Facebook. I used to hate Facebook, I gotta tell you.
That's very
I used
useful.
to hate it. I used to hate it. I have friends that said, you gotta join Facebook. I said, it's a waste of time. I'm a busy woman. I'm not bragging. Come on, guys. But then I realized, wait a second, there's so many wonderful people that you get to know on Facebook.
Sure.
Seeing the pictures in Maine, I mean, you girls, I mean, you are rocking out there. I mean, it's so much work, but it's like exciting because you're working with so many different actors, and then you come to New York, and then you go back there, and then you come back and forth, and that shot is way too close, Gloria. I'm like, look at that. That's way too close. Forget about that. I heard an interview, I seen an interview on New York One with Edward Albee, like a year ago. He said that good directors must learn to listen the playwright. The problem is sometimes their egos gets in between, and the message gets lost in translation.
Oh, yeah.
So it's a skill you gotta learn. You have to do what you have to do. You gotta pay your dues. But how do you learn to read the playwright? I mean, even Tennessee Williams said that you have to just let the writer, let the playwright do the talking. Obviously, they do the words. I write the script. This is it. I use a director. That's your job to put it up there. So how do you translate their message? How do you keep it clean? Because I guess egos are so easy to get in between.
Yeah.
And what Abby was saying, that the good directors are the ones who are able to translate exactly what we write.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think that a good play does speak for itself. And actually, coming from it, approaching it both from having a Shakespeare background and having an acting background really helps, because when you're an actor, what you're doing is you're telling the story that you're given.
That's correct.
You don't have, you can't be like, I would like to set this in space. You
Right.
know, like that's not your job. Your
Right.
job is to just do the words that as they're written. When you're an actor, when you're a director, you can say, I would like to set this in space, and everyone's like, okay, I guess.
Right.
And then, you know, and that's different. But also coming from a Shakespeare background, all you have is the text, and then you get to be this sort of detective to figure out, not like, okay, how do we put our own spin on it, but what are the words here? Shakespeare invented all these words. Why? Why did he invent those words? And how can we use the words to tell the story? And so that sort of union really, really makes the whole thing work.
It's interesting because I love the classics. As an actor myself, I do my share of reading. But like I said, I told you I'm reading about Kenneth Branagh.
Yeah.
And he says that after he became successful in England, paying his dues and working with his own company, the Renaissance theater company, and he uses all these great actors. Judi Dench comes to direct the play, and then, you know, like, it's like I'm ecstatic with all the information that he gives. But he says that the first time that he came to America, when he went to LA to do a film, Dead Again, I think it was, he said that American actors are great. They're very open, but they were kind of like, they didn't want themselves go. Like, he noticed that actors were not much willing to let themselves go on the set, because they felt, in fact, that they were not willing to rehearse much at all, because they felt the magic was going to be gone.
Yeah.
And like, I keep saying names, but I'm always inspired by these great actors. Al Pacino says that rehearsals, they're not about repetition, they're about discovery. And it's so true, right? But it's incredible. He was saying, Rana was saying that, you know, that actors had to learn to just let go, They're too protected, like they had to trust them more and just, you know, trust the rehearsal, trust the work.
Yeah. Oh, definitely.
Right?
Yeah.
Now, film and television, acting, stage. You told me, I guess you guys prefer stage work, but what about film? What about TV?
I'm interested in
You're
exploring
interested in
that
exploring?
world. I think, both of us, our background is certainly theater, and that's, where the bulk of our work so far has been.
Okay. Okay. Now, is there anything coming up? Any independent films coming up? Anything that you guys, I guess that you, as a director, you got to be very interested in reading different scripts.
Yeah, I mean, I'm
Because
actually,
there's so many
yeah.
great actors writing great stuff too, right?
Yeah, we've got some projects.
Okay, cool.
sort of in
That's
the
what I want
works,
to
yeah.
hear. That's what I want to hear, baby.
Yeah,
Because you
that-
see,
I
that's
got-
how
yeah.
that's how
Couple-
great
couple
stories
things.
get.
Oh, for sure, yeah.
Get
Yeah.
how long we got? We got what? 15 minutes. We're gonna jump to the music, guys. Are you guys getting bored? No, of course not. You're getting bored. We're having a very interesting conversation about the craft. We are very passionate about the craft. Can we, guys?
Yeah.
tell? Can we?
Very,
Yes.
very true.
Yes, we
passionate.
gotta be.
It's true, yeah.
It's true. You see, when I hear about projects, I say, wait a second. What do you mean a project? I mean, The Godfather was a project, Like when
Totally,
you read
yeah.
about it, they said, oh, they didn't think it was going to be this big.
I mean, I think
Yes.
that most of the things, like the really cool things that I've ever worked on, have all been like, hey guys, what would be a really fun idea is if we did this. And that's sort of how main stage Shakespeare started in a lot of ways. Was one of those like, hey guys, we should have a theater company. And then we sort of like did. And it was, one of those sort of right place, right people, right time kind of situations. And I think that if you sort of leave yourself open to opportunities, they come. And
come.
yeah,
Actors have to work together.
they do.
Yes.
You have to work together. I don't
They have to
care.
collaborate.
Yeah, we're creative. We're working, auditioning, rehearsing, dying. It's always a drama. And come on, it's like life is so hard as it is. We gotta pay rent, we gotta pay mortgage, we gotta pay bills, we gotta survive in New York. We gotta get a roommate. No, forget about the roommate. I wanna be. We can die if we just talk about it.
Absolutely.
But this is the place to be. This is it, right?
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
Now, Broadway. You girls are big fans.
Oh, yeah.
Of course. Of
Why?
course.
Why is a fascination for Broadway? What is it? I know that is a very stupid question, but I want to know the answer. Why is that fascination? Is it more for singing? What makes Broadway so incredible in your eyes? We were talking about before we started, right? Barbara Streisand with Yentl.
Oh,
One of
yeah.
my favorite movies.
Oh, yeah.
And you were talking about who?
We talked about Brenda Peters.
Brandon Peters. What's the fascination with Broadway?
I mean, I
you
think it starts with the magic, like the spectacle, for sure.
Right.
But then it goes a lot deeper into the world of, just like so much talent and so many resources, and then what you can do with all that. And then just like the stories that they're telling and the music that they're doing. I mean, I've listened to basically exclusively show tunes for a really good percentage of my life. I'm like just now getting into like what's on the radio.
Oh, look at that. Me too. I'm very old school.
Yeah, my siblings make fun of me relentlessly for that.
Well, they make
but,
fun of me
yeah.
too. Give me 5, baby. Who cares?
Yeah.
we keep talking, Dwayne. We're gonna jump into the music. I'm coming to you guys. I mean, to be or not to be, guys. That's the key. That's the question. I'm dying here. I want to keep talking, but you know what? Let's bring it on. No, I'm gonna come to you. You want to break through a song? What do we do here? Anita, we have to give you time. Let me give you direction, baby. Let's not panic. Let's breathe. Number 1. Take that camera out of the shot because I need to move closer. Take your time, baby. You're blocking number. Beautiful. You just blocked the camera, but it doesn't matter. You're just blocking camera number 2, baby. That's okay. We're learning. There you go. Can I move? Yes, I'm moving around. I'm not forgetting my paper. Now we can breathe. Now he's ready for me. You've been waiting. You were listening to the conversation, right? Oh yeah, it's good stuff. Those girls are very, very talented, but now it's all about you. Give me 5, baby girl. The name of the band, where is the name coming from? I'm kind of curious. Who came up with that name? Oh, he doesn't have a mic.
Oh, well, I'll tell you.
Can you tell me, please?
Yes, we live on Garden Avenue. 1,
Okay.
2, 3.
4. And we're missing 1. Right?
Missing 1.
We're missing 1.
Yeah.
He's looking at me like, what is she talking about? Okay. Sorry, okay.
But I don't live on Garden Avenue. So.
Where do you live? Oh, you don't have a mic. Beautiful. I cannot move the mic. Forget it, man. Next time we're going to think about that. We need extra mics. Okay.
So, and then martinis are very in now.
Uh-huh.
And this was like 7 years ago. We thought martini Garden, an eclectic group of music.